session. We need to call the roll, please, ma'am.
Commissioner Cook?
Here.
Commissioner Gammon?
Here.
Commissioner Gooch?
Here.
Commissioner McAdoo?
Here.
Commissioner Key?
Here.
Commissioner Buchanan?
Here.
Chairman Ketchum?
Here, and that's the 18th,
I
maybe.
apologize, that's a typo.
Okay, see, I just read what's in front of me.
I'm sorry.
My sign was in front of me too, so be careful on that. Okay, today is May 18th, Purchasing Committee. We have a quorum. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the April 20th?
I move without approval,
I
Mr. Chair.
have a motion to approve the
Second.
minutes as mailed,
Second.
and it has second Commissioner Cook. Any changes or additions? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, first item is the HVAC replacement for Paws. Michael, you're here. Okay, so we have two bids. First bid is
Nashville machine.
Nashville Machine. If you remember, members, there were some issues. We bid this just recently. There were some issues. Some things were left off on all the bids that came in, so we rejected all bids. We put them back out to bid, and we're back. Our bids here today. So this one is Nashville Machine. They are at 530 Woody Crest Avenue, Nashville, Tennessee. Our quote from Mr. Zach Raines is $541,898. Looks like they have signed a Rand investment certification. They got the record contract monitoring form, non-discrimination, and Title VI assurance. Okay. All right, that's their bid at $541,898.
Next one is Trinity Geothermal.
Tennessee what?
Trinity.
Geothermal, LLC.
Do you want both copies or just one?
Just one.
Where is that located?
This is located at
Mount Juliet.
222 Clifton Avenue, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Looks like the bid is $360,278. The Rand Investment Act certification is signed and notarized. Compliance survey is here. Non-discrimination this year, and Title VI assurance this year. Supply the taxpayer ID. Okay, again, it's $360,278. Okay.
The next one is from Anderson Piping.
Anderson Piping. They're from Nashville, Tennessee. Their bid is $394,400. So they have Rand investment, monitoring form compliance, non-discrimination, Title VI, and taxpayer ID. Okay. And it was $394,400. Thanks, Ben.
And this last one is from Icon Mechanical.
Icon Mechanical. Icon Mechanical is 133 Lyle Lane, Nashville, Tennessee. Also in Granite City, Illinois, and St. Louis, Missouri. Their bid is $388,958. Rand investment, contract monitoring, non-discrimination, level 6. Okay. Again, 388,958.
That was the last one.
That is our last bid. So we have 4 good bids. Yes, sir.
Can you get a rundown
Commissioner.
on what the, just the basic scope of that was, as far as the units?
There was 3 units out there. One of the units was doing one of the bigger units. It was 100% air, I think 100% turnover. It had like all kinds of moving parts in it to bring in 100% fresh air on every cycle. But it was doing the kennel area, and it was also doing part of the front area. And so there was a transfer of odor throughout the building. And so we had an engineer come in and look at this, and so they're capping off part of that unit. They're adding another unit to take care of the areas where we capped off from. And then we've still got to have, the units still have the fresh air capabilities, but we're trying to isolate it as much as we can. And so it had 3 units. One does, I think, a vet area, and then, Michael, you might have to help me with this. One does a veterinarian's area, the other one does part of the front area. Then the third one was doing part of the front area and the kennel area. And so we're trying to keep trying to do more isolation. So there's some duct work.
Okay.
By adding that 4th unit, the electrical was a little shy, so we had to beef up the electrical system. And then plus we're doing some UV equipment in line, COVID, and just for several reasons, but we're putting some UV sterilizers in line with the air conditioning for a safety caution. And so I think the electrical was an expensive component of this. They're more than conventional units. They've got to have the fresh air turnover.
I mean, in your thoughts and experience, what do you think the life of these units would be?
Typically we can keep stuff running for 20 plus years. I mean, that's not a typical lifespan, but we run stuff till it just doesn't make any sense.
How old is that building
He's
there?
gonna fix it, that's right.
How old are those units there?
Some of them are original to the building, so 17 years.
17.
That biggest Aon unit was the one that y'all had to come back in and replace after it was installed without the fresh air.
Right.
But that's also the one that's the biggest unit that serves the most area and has given us the most problems. We put, I know there were 2 repairs that were $10,000 a piece.
2 compressors. Those Aon units are really a specialty item because of this. They've got this big heat exchanging wheel in there. There's 4 motors, maybe 2 compressors. When you open it up, it looks like you're looking in a rocket ship. And so we're hoping that whatever comes along. I didn't specify the Aon because I think there's some more things on the market that will do the same thing. But I mean, if we get the Aon, it would be okay. But there's more. We have more choices now than we did 17 years ago. And so we have that particular unit that Michael's talking about. I think we've swapped everything out. Roscoe Brown swapped everything out that could possibly be changed out on it, and it's still a monster.
So because of the problem we had at the last bid, some of the companies didn't figure in the electrical.
The electrical.
Ben and I talked to him earlier this morning about this, and ask him would there be a problem of, if they're having to redo a lot of electrical, how long, if any, would all of your HVAC be shut down? And I didn't want that to happen, so we needed some kind of clarification, because, you know, we got 3 days coming up this weekend, it's gonna be 90 degrees, and, you know, so if you're disconnecting all electricity, how can we make that transition of installation?
One of the electrical contractors that I talked to just advised me that there is so much electrical in this project that they could keep the old electrical in place and pretty much do like a 24-hour changeover. And so, I mean, 24 hours is a lot too but I think we can still, I guess the timing will be critical, but I think we can still make this work without being a huge inconvenience.
And do you normally use a crane to get those units up on top? Is that included in the?
Well, these units are actually sitting on the ground. They probably will use a small crane just to set them in
Just to let
place.
them in place on the ground? Okay.
But it won't be, it's a pitch roof, shingle roof, and so everything's sitting on a pad
Okay,
back behind it.
okay, good. Other questions?
Mr. Cherry, is there a budget for this,
Yes, sir,
or is it new money?
no, sir, I'm paying for this out of the Gov 2020 money, of that grant, so it's not having to come out of anyone's budget.
You want to take it under advisement and look at the bids?
And
Well,
I would like to, if I, there's so many moving parts to this job.
that's a lot to spend, so let Mike meet with Ben, take it under advisement. I would suggest that, and then they can call the company tomorrow.
Mr. Chairman, Sean Nunes, if there were a representative of a company here, would they be
Like to
allowed
speak?
perhaps to
Sure.
speak and talk about their
Absolutely.
program?
I think I saw somebody from Trinity
Yeah.
here.
Trendy? Okay. Yes, sir.
You have a question
Any-
about
Any
what?
comments you'd like to?
No specific question, just thinking if you had a comment or so, it'd be your.
No, you were talking about Aon, we are using Resner, which is what was specified.
Right, okay.
I just wanted, you mentioned you didn't really want to use Aon,
I wasn't crazy about the idea, but.
but other than that, if you just got.
So what about that question I just asked him about the transition with the replacement of electrical?
Yeah, and Raines Electric came up, I think they had talked with you about, we should leave some of the old, we'll take one unit out, put another one in, and maybe down 24 hours, you know, and then move
When's
on to
our
the next
next
unit.
meeting?
I did talk to the electrician that's working for Trinity,
June
and
15th.
he told me how he was gonna do it.
Okay,
with-
so it's systematic.
And keep everything running up until just a minimal period of time and just switch. The air conditioning would not be, I mean, we could supplement the air conditioning, but the electrical, you know, that's a whole different, because it's pretty much it's a rewire of that building. It's basically, the panels will have to be changed. And so he said that they could just a minimal amount of time. I mean, they could put a lot of thought into it.
It's June 15th, too late for you to make a decision?
It would be okay with me if it's okay with Mayor Ketron as far as the,
Are the units out?
no.
They're
no,
still
no.
operable? Okay.
Right.
I'm make a motion that we'll take it under advisement, bring it up at our next meeting, where it's 15th or where it's before.
If that's okay with Mayor Ketron, that would
Are
be,
you okay with that?
that would suit me. Yes, sir. I'm really pretty nervous without talking to some folks about.
I don't want you nervous.
That's right, that's right.
I'll second it.
And we have a meeting on June 15th, and I said in my motion, at that meeting or one before, if we have a special call meeting.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, that'll work.
And Ben, are you familiar with these four companies?
I'm
Do you have
familiar
any
with-
business with them or?
I'm familiar with all four of them.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with any of these four companies. The Trinity did the air conditioning on this courthouse. National Machines done work for us for years and years. the guy at Icon, I've worked with him probably for 25 years. Anderson Piping they're doing the air conditioning at the judicial, the 20 North and the new archives building, and I think they've done outstanding work over there as well.
So if we make a decision on, I'm sure we will on the 15th, what would be the turnaround time to get it?
You know, the equipment in today's market, I would say we're looking at probably 2 months in lead time as far as getting our hands on the equipment.
So you're confident that what we have is
Hope you get through the summer.
get through the summer?
We'll make
Get
it
through the-
fun.
Yeah, get through the summer, but then also that, I don't wanna shut us down if you run that 24 hours during the dead of summer. So if we get the equipment on order, we might be looking maybe fall? If whoever gets the bid.
I guess,
John Keller.
So just maybe you can get that information
okay.
and bring back to the 15th as far as when they
The-
get started. Can
The
they wait till
time
the fall?
frame of the project. I could do that. That'll be one of the questions.
In the meantime, if
Guys.
something happens, we can bring out fans.
I've got some window fans down at the shop that we can.
Hot dogs and window fans.
Trailer.
We're gonna fan
You
you.
gotta do something.
Well, and a chunk of ice.
Yeah, I don't think y'all
Set
do
them
it.
from the fan.
Our windows don't open, so we don't have airflow when that goes out.
We'll call the guy that drove through the Lane Ag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before last and see if he can open it up for you.
He invented that building yesterday.
In a big way.
Chairman Kendra, I have a question, and it may not could be answered yet, but Ben, what do you think the anomaly is? Why is National Machine so high? Have they gotten comfortable with us doing business with them?
No, I wouldn't think so. I mean,
That's
no, I
almost
don't think so.
$200,000 more. I mean, that's what I say, we may not know till you look in the bid.
What I've seen in the past with contractors, my dad was one, if he's got so much going on, he'll overbid to not get it, but you might still get it.
Just in case. Too much business. I've seen that.
During at the last bid,
Yes,
we've
it was.
done this before,
We had,
and they missed some, National Machine missed some equipment, and they were actually, they had left the electrical out, and they were, I want to say, the low bid was $250. National Machine was $268 or something.
You typically see them a lot closer than that.
Well, National Machines over working on our elevators.
Yeah.
And they, I don't know, I can't
You
answer
can't
that.
answer
Yeah,
that.
I can't answer what, the electrical, like I say, they had missed something during the last time we opened bids, and they were the low bidder, or close second to the low bidder.
Roscoe Brown missed the electrical also.
They missed the electrical.
They didn't bid this time.
It's just, it's really a,
Next, we have Jeremy's
to know
roof.
too.
We gotta vote on it.
Got a vote on it.
We had a second.
Do we have a motion? All right. All those in favor of the motion, Carol? Well, let's just reread the motion.
Okay, she has asked if we could take this under advisement and bring it back to the June 15th purchasing meeting unless we have a special call meeting.
Because sometimes we have a call meeting.
Correct. And the second.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay. Next, we're on to item number 2, Journey's roof, waterproofing. We have 5 invitations in the mail, and we have received 3 bids. Okay, our first is Roofing Solutions out this is on our Rutherford County Journey's Home. We own the building. Journey's Home is a not-for-profit organization, helps our adult, serving those adults. The clients are with those with disabilities, but we still maintain the building and own it. Their quote with a 10-year warranty is $41,000. $334.88. And then they have included,
Is that warranty over the whole?
yes ma'am, it's a renewable product, a labor warranty, for $41,334.88. And then guttering, they put in guttering and downpipes, which is in addition to, it's an option, it's not included, it's an option. $24,468. Did we request gutter as an option?
Yes,
Okay.
but the guttering system that's up there is not in too bad a shape.
Okay.
It
So
will
it'd be-
probably be able to keep it functional for the 10-year period
Okay,
with some minor repairs.
all right. All right, so they have the Rand Investment Certification Act, monitoring forum compliance survey, non-discrimination, Title VI, okay. There we go.
We get forecast to put some gutters out. Could we get them to do it? Save
Our
us some-
correctional work center
All
guys,
right, our next quote is from
They had-
Tom
they
Leeper
had people
Roofing,
that were experienced.
Old Hickory, Tennessee. This is $59,442. And gutters was an option at $13,874.
13 what?
$13,874.
What's the warranty on it?
That's what I'm looking for. Anybody here from Mr.? Yes, sir.
10-year from the manufacturer,
10-year labor and materials.
labor and material from the manufacturer.
10 years. Okay, thank you, sir. We have a representative here. Any questions? From you? Okay.
And the last one is Mid-South Construction.
Last is Mid-South Construction. They are at M Hill Pike, Nashville, Tennessee. This also has a 10-year warranty. Material and labor warranty. Their bid amount is $46,968. Don't see anything on. Anybody here from Mid-South?
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
sir.
no, I didn't see know there was a gutter option, so,
Okay, so
yeah.
no gutter option on this one, so.
I mean, I can get one, but it's probably too late.
$46,968. Any questions? We do have a representative.
Well, we're saying, if I understood you correctly, that we're not needing any guttering.
Do you think we can buy
Or do you
I
think
think,
we
yeah,
get 10 years?
we could probably do some repairs to the gutters to get by.
So the process wouldn't damage any of the gutters?
It's a liquid.
Yeah. So
They would,
it's pretty,
there's some cleanup that has to be done on the roof and vertical seams that have to be removed, the cloth and redone. And some of the gutter straps that hold it to the building may have to be removed, but can be reinstalled.
all right.
take it, you wanna check this out?
Well, here's
we've
the
already-
issue. Here's the issue with roofing is that to apply this process, they have to make, hey, when weather is good and they have so many jobs, their window is shorter than on a conventional roof because it has to be applied above 50 degrees zone.
What do you suggest on this?
I think we take
Both
the
in.
roofing solutions.
Which one was it? Lowest? Roofing Solutions, 41,334.
Yeah.
You're familiar with them
What?
as much as anyone else?
And budget.
I think it's a NASDAQ roof,
It's,
and it's the one that went on the sheriff's, the SO office.
Was there,
Secretary's.
I'm sorry, was there warranties for 10 years also?
No, it's 15.
Roofing Solutions?
with this one, with roofing solutions, it's 10-year
10-year one.
renewable.
10 year.
Was it 10 years?
So-
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 10-year renewable, so,
Everything's the same.
yeah. So they all three have 10 years.
Well, based upon your recommendation, I'll move that we choose Roofing Solutions for $41,334.88.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor of accepting the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Can you do a roll call vote?
Call the roll.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Gammon?
Yes.
Commissioner Gooch?
Yes.
Commissioner McAdoo? Commissioner Key?
Yes.
Commissioner Buchanan?
Yes.
Chairman Potter?
Aye. Okay, the last thing we have, members, is, that's why Lisa is in here. This is an independent contractor agreement that you should have been given. This is an agreement that we would like to enter into for, you may have heard that we accepted, and we voted on this previously, we accepted a $9.9 million grant from the government to pay rents in the rears and to pay for utility bills. We contracted with the company, instead of going through THDA, we went kind of around them and saved 6% of what they were going to charge us, and we went directly to a company out of Mississippi called Horn LLC, or LLP. And they have been working with us, especially Lisa and Reba, our grant specialists. And now that we seem to be doing so well with giving rent, we don't pay the person who's in the rears, but they have to call in and get qualified, but we'll pay the landlord directly, and we'll pay the utilities directly. But we've done so well that the government now has come back and want to give us more money, right? 7.5 million. It's falling for, they're printing like crazy.
No,
out there.
7 million, half of it we've already got half of the second
Yeah.
emergency rental assistance.
Really? They've already said it?
They've already said that.
Wow, okay, so what
You're doing well.
No.
well, what we need with this kind of activity here in Rutherford County, we're a large county and we're to that point to where we need to be taking care of our citizens. So there's a gentleman, many of you may know, used to work for the Daily News Journal and then went to work for the City of Murfreesboro Housing Department until he retired, by the name of John Callum. John has experience in working with these grants and would be perfect for him to come in if we were to contract with him as an independent contractor, not making him an employee, we don't have to pay any benefits, et cetera. And after he got out of the hospital, we had a little scare with his health just recently. Otherwise, we would have already been before you last month. But he's back and healthy, and he's willing to accept coming on board with us to help administer these grants to our citizens. So, see,
Yeah.
Lisa, go ahead.
I was going to say, that his tasks and duties are laid out. he's gonna review our policies and procedures and make sure that we're in compliance with the CARES Act and all other federal requirements. He's gonna recommend updates and changes to our program policies and procedures. This is what we're audited against, so it's gotta be documented. You're familiar with that, it's gotta be documented. And we talked with him, Reba did, understanding that these rules from the federal government change a lot daily, and
And we
so.
goalpost.
Yes,
all the
he is, this is his baby. I'm gonna tell you, this is a coup for us to have this guy to be able to be on our team. And he is excited to work with us. He's given us the hometown rate of $75 an hour. His hourly rate's normally $110. And so, I'm
glad he's on the other side of the fence than what he used to be.
Oh, yeah.
He's on our team now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He won't join our team.
I think he got on to all of us.
Yes.
Over the years, yeah, that's right.
So what do we need to do here?
But just,
Amen.
This is an acceptance of allowing the mayor to enter into the agreement with him. We had Nick draw this agreement up. We don't,
I'll make a motion for that acceptance.
I'll second it.
One question.
yes, sir.
This is covered in the 10%
this will be paid by this
admin.
admin
Admin
fees.
fee. We get
Yeah.
10% of that 9.9, and now the $7-something million we can pay for admin fees. So we're paying it directly out of there. So that's free money as well.
Win-win situation.
Amen.
We
Well, there's a lot
haven't,
of our citizens didn't realize how many that we did have, and most of it's, the first tranche of money we've gotten is almost
But-
spoken for, right?
if everybody who have applied makes
Yeah.
it to the goalpost, we've already spent all the money. But we are still working through this big batch that came in March. March 8th is when we opened the portal. We were into April waiting for them to give us one. I mean, they were not complete. That's what is surprising to me, is that the effort that it takes to get people to put the stuff in there, you know, and get it documented.
Well, it's not to verify. That's why we don't give it directly to the
Person.
person, because they'd be buying TVs and tennis shoes and whatever. We had a
Oh, I got something to tell you about that.
Oh, okay. We had a couple down in Laverne in the very beginning who, she turned one in because she wasn't getting rent from her boyfriend who was living in the bedroom next to her. Her bedroom.
And a bath.
And a bath.
Got a bath.
And then he turned one in.
Yeah, $800 a month is what his rent was.
To live with her.
Okay.
And my wife hasn't paid rent in years.
On the website, sign up, man.
She's a squat.
So this,
Are we televised? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, honey.
Time frame or scope of work.
the time frame, okay.
Okay, continue,
It's-
Lisa.
Yeah, I mean, there is, let's see, the time frame. We're entering in this in May 19th. It's for a year. The maximum is for a year of $75 an hour. We estimate 250. Actually, he thinks it will be less than that. I just want to make sure that the contract would cover
That's right.
everything we needed.
That's right.
Yes. The second batch of money,
That's $156,000.
no, it's not.
It's
No, it's
13.
It's, no, the total is 18,750. 18,750 is the max, $250 per year.
50.
250
Hours
hours.
times 40 hours a week times
No.
52 weeks is
No,
$36,000.
no, only 250 hours is what this contract is.
Times 75.
Yes.
So 18,750.
18,750, we got, that's the,
Hey, Virgil. Hey, Virgil. Virgil.
He said he had another meeting to go.
Well, Tim, come back in there. We got to vote. Hang on.
Come and vote, Brett.
I need to vote.
I'm here.
It involves money.
okay, I'll go ahead.
We got a motion and a second.
Yes.
Okay.
Call the
Call the roll.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Gammon?
Yes.
Commissioner Gooch?
Yes.
Commissioner Key?
Yes.
Commissioner Buchanan?
Yes.
And Chairman Ketchum.
The second batch of money, they are encouraging us
No complications.
to give it out to the tenant if the landlord doesn't want to participate.
Oh, no.
I don't
Yes,
think
ma'am.
that's right.
Yes, ma'am.
They won't spend it on that.
That's a golden rule at Community
And-
Helpers. We never gave nobody money.
I know.
Never. That's horrible.
And then to say they came from the
Are
government,
we on? Are we?
that's
Yes.
scary.
Yeah.
That's very.
There's a lot more, there's different rules. There are different rules for ER2 than it is.
I've
Oh,
got
dear. We need to put a tight rule on
I've got
that.
Anyway, we
3 renters and,
Okay.
What do we,
and they're on fixed income, so should they apply?
are they behind? It's for those folks that had a COVID reason, like
We can continue this. Let's go ahead and adjourn something. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Adjourn, please.
Second.
Second.
We're adjourned.